thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this evening. And I wanted to share with you a little quote first that I recently came across that I think is so relevant to what's going on right now in D.C. You must remember, my fellow citizens, that eternal vigilance by the people is the price of liberty, and that you must pay the price if you wish to secure the blessing. Those words were spoken by our 7th president, Andrew Jackson, on March 4th, 1837, in his farewell address to the nation. I've been thinking a lot about this upcoming 2000 election cycle, and I believe that the single most important and most representative word of what is going on around us now, and also that word that will be part of my campaign strategy, is the word liberty. Liberty is the foundation of which this country was built on. Liberty gives us individualism and freedom of choice, which has enabled this country and its people to prosper and grow, to be the great nation that we are today. As this Democrat administration and ultra-liberal Democrat Congress takes this nation as hostage down the road to what I like to call soft Marxism, we are losing our liberties. And it is time for the call to be vigilant to what is going on. Are we going to mobilize as a nation for the 2010 election and fight to take back those liberties that this Democrat Congress is so swiftly taking from us? Or are we going to sit back and watch as our country that you and I grew up in disappear forever? Let's take a look for a minute at what's been going on back east. First, we have the stimulus package to the amount of $787 billion. President Obama's $3.5 trillion 2010 budget is the largest budget ever passed in the history of our nation. The expansion of the SHIP program, which is the State Children's Health Insurance Program, mandated by the federal government to the states to provide health insurance to our underinsured or low-income families. Now, what they did was they expanded it to the 300% level above the poverty line, which before it had been 200%. That means that a family of 4 that makes $66,000 or less, that their children will have health insurance provided to them by the state. This bill, by the way, came up during the Bush administration twice and was vetoed by Bush twice. The cap and trade that passed out of the House promises to be one of the largest tax increases on our American families and American businesses. Somewhere to the tune, for families, they're estimating between $3,000 and $5,000 additional taxes a year. And now the health care program. We all know what that's about. It's about destroying the greatest health care system in the world. It's about putting us all on a single-payer federal government system that promises to cost taxpayers somewhere in excess of $1.3 trillion over 10 years. And that's a conservative estimate. And where is our Congressman Dennis Moore in all of this? He is right up there voting right down the party line with the ultra-liberals. He cloaks himself in the mantle of a blue dog Democrat while he throws the 3rd district that he represents under the bus to support his Democrat Party friends, and in particular, Nancy Pelosi. He is clearly out of step with the 3rd district. But we have to remember something as we approach this election. Dennis Moore is a long-time incumbent with a record that the majority of the voters in this district are very unaware of. The fact is, over the course of the last 12 years, Moore has built up a reputation, whether deserved or undeserved, as being a moderate voice of reason. And so we need to ask ourselves, do we go again with the conventional wisdom and field the same kind of candidate against Dennis Moore as we have the last 6 elections? Or do we try something different? And just to briefly go over the last 6 elections, started in 1998 with Vince Snowbarger, who was our first term incumbent at that time. He was swept out in the Newt Gingrich backlash. 2000, we put up Bill Fine, who narrowly missed defeating Dennis Moore, but won Johnson County. And Bill Fine was very well liked at that time. He had a great grassroots strategy. 2002 was an unknown, Adam Taft, who also won Johnson County, who also narrowly missed defeating Dennis Moore. 2004, it was Chris Kobach, a conservative Republican, who for the first time lost Johnson County and lost to the greatest percentage at that time of 45%. 2006, another unknown, Chuck Honor, who lost the county by he lost the district by 35% and also lost Johnson County. 2008, Nick Jordan, well liked by moderates and conservatives, but he also lost Johnson County. He came in with a mere 40%. So here we are, the 2010 election cycle coming up. And do we go again with the conventional wisdom of a seventh white collar, middle-aged, white guy with a different name, maybe with political experience or not, maybe unknown, maybe with a lot of money, maybe a doctor? Or is it time to try something different in the 3rd District? Is it time to try a different kind of candidate with a different kind of campaign strategy? Such as maybe a pro-life Republican woman with both legislative and extensive private sector experience, and just enough of an independent streak and enough of a door-to-door grassroots work ethic to maybe get that sophomore voter to take a look before casting that ballot. It's 2010, and it's time to try something different. I am a 3-term former state representative, having served on numerous committees, including education, judiciary, health and human services, long-term care, and a few others. I chaired the Insurance House Committee my last term. I was doing health care reform before health care reform was cool. We passed the Health Care Savings Act. We passed the model legislation for credit score, and I authored and helped pass the Student Self-Medication Act. Most recently, I come from the private sector. The last 5 years, I've served as vice president with HSBC, a global bank. I was in the government relations department. I worked on consumer credit issues such as mortgage lending, credit cards, insurance, privacy, breach of security. I am also a lawyer. I started my professional career as an attorney with the federal government. I am most proud of my 3 years with the Federal Aviation Administration, where I served as an enforcement attorney, bringing hundreds of cases, and proud to say that I tried 31 in front of the National Transportation Safety Board and was successful with all of them. I am pro-life, pro-growth, and pro-liberty. And I am currently the only candidate in this race who offers something new, something different to bring against Dennis Moore. Dennis Moore can be beaten, but it won't be with the same type of candidate we've tried before. He can be beat with a fresh new approach that finally delivers a contrast to that 3rd District voter that maybe this time they can sit up and listen. So thank you all so much for allowing me to speak to you. I look forward to hearing your questions.